Okay, so let's continue from the previous session. Okay, so we are in the task number 10. So can we start now? Can we start now? Any doubt? No doubt? Can we start? Okay, so let's come to the next point. Here is our task number 10. In this task number 10, we have to create a hero inventory. Okay, so we have to demonstrate the tuple creation, and we have to demonstrate how to create an empty tuple. Okay, so let's understand first. There is a variable inventory. Okay, when you place these braces and you will not write anything in between those braces, it is considered as empty tuple. It is considered as empty tuple. Okay, now treat the value or treat the tuple as a condition. So when you want to check any tuple, you can check that tuple also. So here what we are doing, we are using if statement. If not inventory, then print you are empty handed. What do you mean by this? If not inventory. So not inventory is a condition right here. It will check the inventory variable. Okay, if that inventory variable contains something, okay, if we have written something like 15 comma 12.2 or comma string like this, so it will create a tuple like 15 and 12.2 and abhi. Okay, so this contains something inside this inventory variable. Okay, so it will check this if condition, will check this inventory variable. This if condition will check this inventory variable. If anything present in this inventory variable, it will print as true value. Okay, if anything is not represent in this inventory, here is not. Okay, so if this is not equal to, so it will represent true value. Okay, if it is equal to, means it will represent false value. Okay, so if true value is there, you have to print empty handed. Okay, clear? Any doubt till now? Write in chat box. If not inventory, not inventory will check this empty or not. Okay, if this is empty, it will represent the true condition and it will print your statement written right here. So anything which is, this condition is true, then it is going to be executed. If this condition is false, then the next statement is going to be executed. Okay, write in chat box. Understood? Quickly give your response. Have you understood this if statement? Okay. Now come to the next point. When this is executed, then you have to take the input. Press the enter key to continue. Okay. When you press enter key, it will continue. So in the next statement, we are taking a variable inventory. In that variable, we have defined a string tuple, and all these are string tuples. Okay, so anything in between these inverted comma are considered as string. Understood? So we have created 1, 2, 3, and 4 tuples right here. Okay. So after that, we are printing the tuple inventory is. So it is going to be printed as it is. Now we print your items, and then we are using for loop. Let's understand this for loop. So in this for loop, we are using item as a variable, and this item variable will be checked by this inventory. So what this inventory contain? This inventory contain all these tuples. Okay, so item will point to which position? Write in chat box. Quickly give your response. I have explained this earlier, that this inventory will point out this complete tuple list. Okay, this inventory will point out toward this complete inventory list, and what this item contain. Give your response quickly. String in inventory. So which position it will point? Quickly give your response. 0 index. Yes, you are very much right. You are very much right. Okay, yes. So this is the 0 index. This is first index. This is second, and this is third index. Okay. So it will point toward the 0th index. Clear? So this statement will point toward the 0th index. So this is from 0, and this inventory provided by this right here completes the list. So now for I in inventory, print item. So item is going to be printed out. So how it will print? It will print first sword, then write in chat box, but it will print. Quickly give your response. Armor. Yes, you are very much right. So again, shield, and last healing positions. Okay. Have you understood this? So in this program, we have learned how to create a tuple. Okay. So in this program, we have learned how to create empty tuple, how to create a tuple list, and how to use for loop to display these tuple values, and how to take the indexing, of these tuples. Okay. So index start from 0 to n number of tuples. Any doubt till now? Write in chat box. Can we move toward next activity? Quickly give your response. Okay. So we will start with next task. So as you can see right here, these are the item. We can join these two tuples also, and we can display these tuples also. Next is function. So what is function? First we have to understand what is function. What is function? Give your response quickly. What is function? Quickly give your response. What is function? Give output on contain inputs, a set of instructions for execution. Gautam, you are right. Okay. set of instructions for execution is called a function. So when you want to create some big program, so let's suppose that you are creating a calculator program. Okay, so in calculator there are different operations. Okay, there are different operations. You have to perform summation. Okay, you have to perform subtraction, you have to perform multiplication and division. Okay, and so on. So there are so many operations performed in calculator. Okay, so when you want to perform these operations, so you have to create some functions. So you create some sum function, subtraction function, multiplication function, and some division function. Inside this sum function, you can use your variables. Okay, so let's suppose that you can find the sum equal to a plus b. Okay, inside this inside this subtraction, you perform sub is equal to a minus b. In this function, you can perform mul equal to a into b. In this function, you can perform div is equal to a divided by 2. Okay, and you can call this function in the main program. You can call this function in the main program as sum a equal to 12 comma b equal to 10. Okay, so in this manner, when you call this statement and you can print the statement as sum, so sum equal to, and it will give you the result of that value, summation value. So it will give you the output as 20. Okay, write in chat box, have you understood the function, how we can use this function? So what is the main purpose of this function? If you create a big program that is of, let's suppose, 1000 line code is there and written in main function. Okay, let's suppose that this is our main function. In this main function, you have written 1000 line of code, and suppose that in one line error occurs. Okay, in one line error occurs, it is very difficult to find out that line. Okay, it is very difficult to find out in which section this error is going to be present. Okay, and when you create some small program like this, summation, subtraction, multiplication, division, if any occur in between this condition, okay, you can easily identify the error and you can easily identify its solution. Okay, understood? Any doubt till now? Write in chat box. Quickly give your response. Any doubt till now? Function, about function. Have you understood? I have not received any response from your side. Okay, so understood. Let's see this function. What is its definition right here? So every program you have written so far has been one larger continuous series of instructions. Once your program reach a certain size or level of complexity, it becomes hard to work with them this way. Fortunately, there are ways to break up big programs into smaller, miniable chunks of code. Okay, so we have to convert large program into smaller, manageable chunk of code. Okay, so manageable means you can easily identify the errors. Okay, in this chapter you learn one way of doing this by creating your own functions. Specifically, in this chapter, you will learn to do the following. Write your own functions, accept values into your functions through parameters, return information from your functions through return values, and work with global variables and conditions. So we will learn how to create this function. Then we have passed some parameters. So how to pass some parameters? Let's suppose that we have a add function. Okay. So in this add function, we are passing the variable a equal to 12, b is equal to 10. Okay. So these a and b are the parameters. These a and b are the parameters. We can pass these parameters directly into the function. Okay. And they will directly point to these variables. So in this addition, we have used sum function. Okay. So this in this sum, we can use a plus b. So this sum variable contain the addition of these two values. Okay. So this contain a 22. So we can use the print statement and show the output sum equal to, and we can show the output as sum. Okay. So this is the parameter. Any doubt? Write in chat box. Now return information from the function. So how to use this return statement? When you write void, what does this mean void? In C and C++, you have seen frequently void main, and then this function will start in C language. This is the C and C++ language. Okay. Void main, then you use curly braces, and then you write some statement right here. What do you mean by this void? Gautam is saying return nothing. Yes, Gautam, you are very much right. So this void is a return type. It is called return type. Okay. So this void means empty. Okay. You will not return any value to the main program. Okay. If you write instead of void, you can write as integer. You can write as float also. So what do you mean by this integer and float? So it will return integer value. Integer value it will return. Okay, so where to use this returns? As we have seen, let's suppose that we are using add function. In add, you are using sum equal to a plus b. So here you can use return statement and place some value right here. So it will return the summation as 22 to the main program. Any doubt till now? Write in chat box what is a function, how we can define the function, and what is parameter and how you can pass those parameter, what is the return type, okay, how we can use the return statement, okay, and you use the void. We cannot return any value to the main program. When you write integer, it will return some integer value. Like here we are using return and sum. So sum is going to be returned to the main program. Okay. Quickly give your response. Have you understood this? Any doubt till now? Yes. Okay. Most we will. Okay. Okay. So we will continue with this. We have understood about the function. Let's come to this task number 11. So what we are doing in this task number 11, let's see. This task number 11, You have already seen several built-in functions in action, including length, range. Well, if these are not enough for you, Python lets you create functions for your very own. Okay, you can create your own function. If you don't want to use these predefined or pre-created functions, you can create your own functions. You can define what you want and you can perform these operations as desired. Okay, so your function work just like the ones that come standards language. Okay, they go off and perform a task and then return control to your program. Okay, creating your own functions offers you many advantages. One of the biggest is that it allows you to break up your code into manageable and sized chunks. Okay? Programs that are one long series of instructions will be logical breaks are hard to write, understand, and maintain. Okay, programs that are made up of functions can be much easier to create and work with. Just like the functions you have already met, your new functions should be one job well. Okay, this is the how you can create the function. Now, after creating a function, how to define the function, documentation of function, we have explained these tasks in using this task number 12. So in this task number 12, what we are going to do, we are using some predefined function and we can create some own function and demonstrate all these concepts. Okay, so can we start with this task number 12? Write in chat box any dot till now. Quickly give your response. Quickly give your response. Any dot till now. If some points you have not understood, we can explain those points. Okay, so most of the students are saying no doubt. Now come to the next point. In this task number 11, what we are going to do, we are going to demonstrate the program created using functions. Okay, so let's understand this task first. What we are going to do in this program. Okay, so let's suppose that we have some values like here we have to give some instruction point to the user. Okay, after reading those instructions, okay, the instruction to the tic-tac-toe game, and we have to display those instructions, and then we have to print that here they are again. So we have to print those statements again, and we call uh, that function. Okay, and we have to print to probably understand the game of by now. Okay, then press the enter key to exit. So how to perform this experiment, you have to learn first. Write in chat box any doubt till now. If any point you have not understood, I can explain those points. Quickly give your response quickly so that we can move further. If you will not understand these basic concepts, we will revise all these concepts again. No doubt. Okay. Clear. Okay. Clear. Okay. So most of the students are saying that there is no doubt. So we will continue with this task number 12. Okay. So in this task number 12, we have to use these values. So let's come to this task number 12. First in this one, how to demonstrate this. function. We have seen this is an instruction function. Here we have defined some instructions. Now we are using these instructions again by calling this instructions. Okay, and we have to print those instructions again. Okay, so this is the print command, and if you have to to exit from the program, you have to enter the enter key. Okay, so can we move further? Task number 12. This is the next task we have seen. So in this task, we have to demonstrate the parameters and return value. We have seen how to use these parameters. So we have created this display function, and this display function we are passing a parameter as a message, and then we are printing that parameter value right here, message. Okay, and again we have defined a function, give me 5. Okay, and you have to define the statement like this. So proper indentation should be there. If your indentation is not proper, then there might be some error in the program. Okay. Any doubt till now how you can define your function? How can you pass the variables, and how you can print those messages or those variables? So this is the first two blocks in which we have defined a function and we have executed the statements, and then we have used the return statement. Message visible is empty now. Message variable is empty now. Yes, message variable is empty now. So this, okay. So Gautam, initially you can see this program will execute from your main options. Okay. So when this message will be called, it directly go to the message. Okay. So you can see we have defined this as right here. Okay. So display, here is the message for you, and the number is given as 5. Let's execute this program. It is taking much more time. So when this problem occurs, you may restart your kernel. Otherwise, it will take much more time to execute. In this program, last program, these statements are printed again. So we have explained like this. Execution is going on. It is taking time to execute. Any doubt till now? We can explain those doubts till the time it is going to execute it. We can explain those doubts. Any doubt till now? You may ask your doubt right now, or we can take a poll right now. Okay. So let's take a poll. I'm giving an option for correct syntax. Okay, so I'm writing different syntaxes. In the first option, I am writing if statement. So we are using if, then condition, and colon. The second statement, I'm using for loop, for condition. So which one is correct? You have to give your response. We have two options. First is if condition and colon. Second is for condition. So which one is the correct syntax for these two statements? I have received only 5 responses till now. You have to quickly give your response. Quickly give your response. Gautam, I have given a poll right now and you have to poll your option. Okay, I have not explained anything till now. Give your poll right now. I found is nothing. I want to give the option A and B. So I forgot to write B right here. Okay. A is nothing. Just I have received a 13 responses or 14 responses. Still 9 students are not responding. 2 wrong responses I have received. So the correct answer for this poll is A. Okay, in first option, in which we are using if, then we are using condition. Okay, the second we are using for condition. We forget to write colon. Okay, so when you write any loop, you have to use colon. Okay, so first statement is correct, whereas the second statement is incorrect. Okay, so this is the question for your poll. So 8 students still not responded. 18 students given their correct answer. 1 student is wrong, and 1 student have changed their answer. Okay. It is executing and not showing us any output. So you can define the function and call those function again. Okay. So let's take a example from here. We will insert the cell below to this. Insert. Okay. So here you can use plus function and delete all other. you can use the second function and delete other. What is the output for the first? Give your response. Quickly give your response. In the first, we have defined a function display. Okay. In this display, we have defined the parameter as message. Okay. And we have to print the message. Okay. So how you can execute this? Write in chat box what we are going to do in this first function. First, you have to give the message as input. Okay, so you take the input and print the message. Let's suppose that this message is equal to input. This message is equal to input, and that input is taken from keyboard. Okay, or you can directly print the statement. Okay, so the input is enter from keyboard. When you take the input from the keyboard, that input goes toward this message. Okay. And we have to call the function. So how to call the function? You can use display, and you can use the display like this. And after that, you can define the function also. Okay. So write in chat box, is it correct? What is the problem with this? Quickly give your response. Sir, I think it should be display message. So when you want to give the input, so just enter the keyboard. Parameter is not inputted. So when you write this message, it is creating errors. So how to change error? Parameter is not inputted. It should be display message. It is showing error. How to change that error? Message in display. So this is a message, and if you give this in the parameter value, what happen after this? Give your response. If you directly pass this variable or this parameter directly into the display function, what will happen? Instead of display, what will happen after you type this message? Mailbag. So this is the parameter, and we have defined a function right here. Okay, so if we take any value from here, what will happen? Quickly give your response. Tell me what will happen. This message is printed from the previous output. It will print the value. It should print. So again, it is printing a value. Okay. Any doubt till now? Now come to the next point. This is our function. We have to return the value 5, and we have defined the function give me 5. So how to take the return value from here? Quickly give your response. How to call a function? Quickly give your response. Yes. So this is the main program for calling the function. We have defined a function right here, and how to call this function? We have to use this give me 5 function and give the value right here number. Okay, so number is given inside this function as a 5, and it will return the value 5. Okay, so how to display the number of 5? So here you can see this 5 is going to be printed. Okay, so in this way you can give your response. Any doubt till now? Write in chat box. Quickly give your response. Quickly give your response. Any doubt till now? How we have created this function? Okay, so this is the last function we have created. Ask yes or no, then question. How to call this function? We have created this function. How to call this function? So after creating this function, how to call? You can see from here. So this is the third output. We have created this function. Now here we are calling the function ask yes or no. This is the name of the function. Then we have given question, enter yes or no. Okay, so if you enter anything, sir, this file is your repo. If you want this file, I will mail you. So give your mail ID, or I can directly upload this file to the repo. Okay, so it will print by. And doubt till now, have you understood this function? Any doubt till now? Okay, so this is the last question or last task. Here we have to demonstrate the different parameter value or positional parameters. So indentation should be proper. You can see from here we have not properly given the space. That's why it create the error in the previous two attempts. Okay. So now the indentation is proper and it's showing us the output right here. Okay. So time is over. If you have any doubt, you may ask your doubt right now, or those who want to leave the session, they may leave the session now. So this will cover your experiment number 2. Okay. So you have to cover your experiment number 2 after Diwali, 18th of November. Okay. So sir, what is the use of response equal to none? Okay, response equal to none. We are defining the function ask yes or no, and we pass the variable question. Okay. Now this variable is passed right here. We will give the response equal to none. Response equal to none means we take no value. None is a keyword. Okay, none is a keyword. So sir, Pankaj is saying, sir, I have completed experiment number 2 and uploaded in the Maybe should I do it again to add comments. If you have added, then it's better. Otherwise, no issue. Okay. All the output should be there. If outputs are not present, then there is an issue. Okay. So the question is that what is the use of this none? None is a keyword. Okay. So the value is, in this case, the previous response is empty. Okay. It is a keyword. Any doubt till now?